Good morning, Sunday. Today's used car build is the Silvia S15 Spec R Aero build. This car, I kind of messed up because I really didn't have to tune it at all. I should have just left it completely stock and just put tires on it. But, you know, I'm not a Silvia guy. It was either this or a Beetle Bug, and I didn't want to do a Volkswagen Beetle because I really don't like those cars. I respect, you know, I give credit where credit's due. The Beetle is like, you know, one of the most widely selling cars ever in history, but we're not here to talk about that fucking thing. We're here to talk about this Silvia, this S15. So, it is a pretty cool car, and it's very capable. It handles really lively. I wouldn't say it's glued to the track. I probably could do some more tuning and make it so. But it's very lively. It is fun to drive because it's so lively. It's it'll wipe out if you're not careful, but it's sporty enough and it handles well enough, like, to keep her glued to the course. So if I was to compare this car to anything, like, one thing I want to point out is with the interior, get that cool little A-pillar gauge. Never race somebody with a rear-facing A-pillar gauge. You know, that's just anybody knows that. But the interior is pretty simplistic. I actually like that. You know, other than the A-pillar gauge, it's pretty cool. It's good to see that they didn't go balls deep into, you know, overdoing it or underdoing it. So if I was to compare this car looks-wise to something that I'm familiar with, look at that rear end. Look at the rear taillights. What does that remind you of? I'm not talking about the wing. I'm not talking about anything else. Just look at those rear taillights. Doesn't that look like a 90s Pontiac Grand Am to you? I mean, I won't blaspheme the car by calling it that because it's a lot better than that, but, like, look at the rear taillights. To me, that looks like a Pontiac Grand Prix or Grand Am from the 90s. It really does. Other than that, though, it is a cool little car. It was surprisingly cool and sporty and lively because I'm not a Silvia guy, as I previously mentioned, but it is pretty lively. Look at them assholes. You can't even race a computer clean. You know, you always got some dirty shit going on. But I did do a little bit of tuning with the car. I did mess with it a little bit. And it probably does need a little more tweaking to keep it more glued to the track. I might wide body it, put a different wing on it, and just even limited slip differential just to kind of keep her glued to the course. Usually with a front rear, you don't have to do that, but this one is, like I said, it's pretty lively. It's a pretty lively car, so it might need that extra additional support. You know what I mean? Just to keep it glued to the track, because it definitely don't need more power. It's got plenty of power. I probably didn't need to do half the shit I did to it. But let's go ahead and we'll pop out, and we did kind of the usual parts that I usually slap on them, and it gave it a bit of a lively run. It's definitely a lively car to drive, you know, much like if you were gonna, I don't know, take a Fox body Mustang and not do anything with it and just drop it. So we're sitting at 599 performance points, 337 horses, which is quite a bit, 2,500 pounds. Pretty light with a lot of power, hence attributing to that liveliness. Sport soft tires, height adjustable sport suspension. We dropped it to 98 millimeters. The first run, I had the rear end lifted just a little bit, but then I quickly evened that out because that was a little too squirrely. Increased the compression and expansion by 1 as usual, and leveled out the natural frequency to 210. We did put a computer management chip in it, and we did put our manual transmission, put it up to 290 instead of 280, just because it was just too torquey at takeoff. It liked to kick out a little bit. Put a high-capacity intercooler in it, sports air muffler, manifold, sport brakes. We did the lightweight clutch and the propeller shaft. We bored it out, we balanced it, we polished it, and we put some titanium connected rods and pistons and did 1 stage weight reduction. Like I said, all that was unnecessary. I didn't have to do half that shit. So if you're a Silvia guy and you like this car, just tune it lightly at first. It doesn't need much. But now on to the interior. I like the simplistic interior. I like the fact that most of the little doodads are on your armrest, on your door. Keeps the interior pretty clean. There's not much going on there. I like that. I think it would have done pretty well. I think they did pretty good on the interior. The styling is pretty clean. Honestly, I didn't do any body work on it. I didn't change anything other than the wheels. I did put these kind of gaudy racing stripes on there, white racing stripes on to offset the dark maroon we put on it. All in all, it's a fine looking car. I'm just not a Silvia guy. It's just not for me. I like the front end style. They did a pretty good job on the front end. But the rest of it just looks very plain sedan to me. It's like I said, if I was to compare it to something that I'm familiar with, it would be like a Pontiac Grand Prix or Pontiac Grand Am kind of look, styling, just with the body styling. Obviously, they're worlds apart on performance and everything like that. But anyway, are you guys like the Silvias? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you drift them? Do you overtune them? Do you leave them stock? What do you guys do with them? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Thanks for watching. I appreciate every view I get. Much appreciated, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully, we'll get our Chevelle. When the hell is the Chevelle coming back around? Thanks for watching, guys.